Fallow is one of those experiences where I'm not really sure how I would go about convincing another person to try it. If I had to describe it succinctly, I would say Fallow is a hauntingly atmospheric, yet deeply personal glimpse into a unique setting. Even by RPGMaker standards, Fallow hits a sweet spot for me. It possesses this strange, fever dream quality, as if I'm absorbing it for the first time, yet simultaneously, I've seen it before. Trying to give you a plot hook won't do the game justice because the story is far more of an exploratory or thematic experience than a strict narrative one. And for that reason, I must stress, it isn't for everybody. This isn't a closed case with all the answers. You're not going to be able to watch an iceberg video about this game that explains everything about it. So if you can't stand ambiguity, then definitely skip this one. It's a type of game you can play twice and really still struggle to pin down some details, or feel like you missed something. But if that's your jam, enjoy. Fallow is set in a dying reality, similar enough yet distinctly different from our own. The desolate surface is comparable to the barren wastes of our own world. Parched, cracked earth, copses of dying trees, and the rotting carcasses of old machinery. But beneath the familiar crust, alien technology whirs and thumps. These are the skids. Not much is known about them, and they're not really ever fully explained. But it's fully apparent that the people who live in this world have learned to repurpose them for their needs. Some human technology has even taken on the nature of the skids, with a mix of the organic and mechanical. But this is all background information. We follow Isa Fallow, a young woman who lives on a homestead at the edges of society with her adoptive sisters. Their family name Fallow was chosen after leaving the nearby city as an attempt to wipe the slate clean and start over. Life in this world isn't particularly great already, but things take a turn after Isa's sisters begin disappearing one by one, as if they seemingly popped out of reality. Stranger still, Isa can tell something is coming. She's begun having apocalyptic dreams and sleepwalking miles away from home. We follow Isa as she spends her days wandering around her homestead and its surrounds in solitude, retracing how she's come to this point in her life. Each new memory serves to recontextualize our understanding of her relationships and expands our understanding of the world. This makes up the core gameplay loop, and is translated as your typical RPGMaker affair. Go to a place, interact with the environment, solve some simple puzzles, get some new story information, what the kids these days would call a walking simulator. I mean, it's an RPGMaker game. If you're expecting extremely engaging gameplay, you'd be better served elsewhere. If you manage to stick around, you're in for a meditative episode focused on the nature of human relationships, memories, suffering, and grief. It sounds kind of harrowing when I put it like that, but the game is far more chill than you might imagine. There's a strange sense of comfort despite the looming portents of the end times. My recommendation would be to have some snacks on hand and maybe a bottle or two of your favorite drink. I feel the need to mention that this is obviously the work of a solo developer, Ada Rook. I don't know her and I don't purport to, but I can feel how personal this story is. It's easy enough to see her fingerprints, even if I can't decipher them.
Sorry, I don't speak Italian.
At the same time, though, I can't help but see parts of my own life reflected back to me, as if I've always been in on the secrets of Fallow. It's a story about how people can help one another just as easily as they can injure. Or, who knows, maybe I'm just projecting. Rook also makes killer non-soundtrack music.
I feel sick. I still feel sick. I still feel sick. I feel sick.
I encourage you to arm yourself in preparation for the day you get past the aux. Mixing some of her music in there between the video game OSTs and Nightcore remixes might actually convince people you have some sort of taste. The art style also scratches my brain real good. There's this real H.R. Geiger quality to the environment, especially in the skids. Organic shapes seamlessly blend with the angular metals in such a way that it just becomes impossible to pick out any sort of recognizable features. It kind of reminds me of those photos floating around where you can recognize what you're looking at, but really struggle to actually name anything. Where does the machinery end and the organic begin? Is this flesh? Do I want to know? The sepia clearly doesn't help. As far as RPGMaker goes, I think the style is different enough to stick out. It's still pixel art, but it's far more reminiscent of the old Game Boy than any of the legion of games in the pixel art revival. It all adds to the weird timelessness of the story, which is perfectly complemented by the soundtrack, which is fairly different from Rook's typical discography. It's comfy, atmospheric, and hauntingly desolate all at once. There was a limited physical edition of it floating around, which I'm so sad I didn't get my hands on because it's been sold out for years now, but just a cool thing to mention. Alright, it's good, you should play it, bye.